Hi everyone! Welcome back to Bethany's Vintage Fairy Tale. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to be sharing with you guys my mantle for 2023. I'm going to go ahead and be decorating a beautiful garland for Christmas over here, and I can't wait to share with you guys the entire process. I'm going to start off using a Walmart garland, just layering that onto my mantle here, using some clear command hooks just to make sure that I get a really nice strong hold, since we're going to be layering on a lot of different florals and greenery. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give it a really nice fluff. You want to make sure that you go ahead and separate all of the branches just to make sure that you get the fullest natural look that you can possible. I wanted to kind of move the branches a little bit more forward because, again, we're going to be layering in a lot of different kind of greenery stems and florals on here. So I wanted to make sure that the base was really nicely set up so that we could attach all of the beautiful accents onto it. So we're going to start off by adding in these beautiful greenery stems. These are from Canadian Tire, and I really wanted to go ahead and make this garland really full and luscious and over the top. And these were super nice and full, so it adds a lot of depth and also a little bit more of a different texture into the garland as well. Anytime I'm working on these really large over-the-top displays, whether it's a garland or a floral arrangement, I really like to play with a lot of different layers and textures and lots of depth and dimension when you're choosing all of the different kind of greenery stems. So you'll see with this garland, I've chosen a lot of flocked stems, I've chosen some more icy stems, and also these beautiful pines, again, just to give that really beautiful natural layered effect. So we're going to go ahead and start off with making a beautiful bow for the very center of our garland here. So I'm using some beautiful ribbon that I picked up at Michael's this year. I absolutely love this beautiful kind of pink scrolly texture that it has. It's so gorgeous. And I'm just going to go ahead and layer the bow together with my hands. I'm just essentially folding different loops, making sure to pinch it in the center and then twist it so that you can see the right side of the material every single time you go ahead and do another loop. And I wanted to make this about a 3-tiered bow, so I went ahead and made 3 loops on each side just to give a lot of fullness. As you're working with your bow, don't forget to go ahead and kind of make sure that your loops are almost the same size. You can do so by pulling it together in the center to kind of measure to make sure that you get both of your loops the same size, or at least roughly the same size. And then just to secure it in place, I'm going to go ahead and use some floral wire and secure that nice and tight. And then to finish off my edges, I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and create a little dovetail just by cutting the ribbon at a slant. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this bow directly into the center of my garland, again using that same floral wire that's already on the bow, and then I'm just going to go ahead and give it a really nice fluff. And then for a little bit more kind of pizzazz, I wanted to go ahead and add in a secondary ribbon. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to add this beautiful lacy material right into the center of the bow. Again, just to give this bow even more depth and dimension and some more sparkle with this beautiful lace. Once you have both bows securely placed, you're going to want to go ahead and give your bow a really nice fluff. Make sure to pull out all of the loops just to get a really nice round full effect here. And I just love how this was the perfect piece just to add a beautiful accent in the middle of my garland here. Now we're going to go ahead and continue on placing more greenery stems. I have these beautiful icy eucalyptus stems that I picked up at Home Goods this year, and I went ahead and actually cut the stem into little pieces so that I would have more bang for my buck that way, and I could get a lot more fullness here. Before I put these in, I actually did try to put the whole stem in here, but it was way too big and it just kind of looked really odd. So I recommend, if you guys have stems like that it just look too bulky and that aren't working, don't be afraid to go ahead and cut up your stems and then add those in directly into your garland that way. I find that it really helps to give even more bang for your buck, again, like I said, because you get to have way more material throughout your design, and then also doesn't add so much bulk if you're using really large stems. Next, we're going to go ahead and add in these beautiful poinsettias that I picked up at Hobby Lobby this year. I really wanted a beautiful contrast color, and I love the warm kind of honey brown tone of these poinsettias. I just thought it would be something really nice to break up all of the green and flocking that we have so far in the garland. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and pull out all of the petals here. Each one has a little bit of wire to it, so I really like to kind of pull them apart and give them a little bit of a curvature, just to make them look a little bit more natural and whimsical. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place them directly into the garland here, trying to space them nice evenly throughout. I had 4 of these beautiful brown ones here. And then we're also going to go ahead and use these ones, which are the beautiful green tone, which also just go perfectly with all of the greenery that we already have. And they're the same ones as the brown, so they coordinate already. And then we're just going to go ahead and directly put those in between where we placed all of the brown ones. So now we're going to go ahead and add in a little bit more of an accent here. This is another example of how I cut up an existing stem to get a little bit more material to work with. These are also from Hobby Lobby, and they come on a really large stem. And again, I cut them up just so that I would have a little bit more to work with in my garland here. The stem that these come on are actually really hard to move. They're very, very thick wire, so it was so much easier to have little pieces to play with in my garland than versus using the entire stem that it came on, because they were so bulky. It just really didn't work in the arrangement. So again, don't be afraid to cut up your florals or stems and use them throughout your arrangements. There's no right or wrong way to create a garland, you guys, and I just love how this added a really nice whimsical touch and more of an icy tone. So I had a little bit more of my ribbon left over, and I didn't want anything to go to waste. So what I did was I cut 2 little strips left of the material that I had left, and I went ahead and created some longer tails. I just wanted a little bit more of a dramatic bow here. So what I did was I just kind of looked for some greenery stems underneath the bow that I could attach these little strips to. And then I'm just using my hands to kind of curl the edges just to give a really nice, beautiful, romantic look. And I just think this looks so nice and was the perfect touch that my bow needed. It just needed something a little bit more to go with it, and I think these longer tails were the perfect dramatic piece to add in. I also used some more of the beautiful lace as well, just to tie in the whole bow together. So now that we have the majority of our garland put together, it's time to go ahead and add the lights. Now, you guys, there's so many different ways you can incorporate lights. If you wanted to do this first, you could totally do that as well. I just knew for this particular arrangement that we were going to be adding in a lot of different greenery pieces, and I didn't want the lights to get completely covered and then not be able to really see them. So that's why I chose to kind of go ahead and place most of my greenery stems first and then go ahead with the lights kind of in the middle. But again, you guys can do whatever you like. You could always place your lights first and then at the very end go ahead and add in some twinkly lights or fairy lights if you wanted something a little bit more bold. It's really up to you, whatever you guys would like to do. So now we're going to go ahead and continue on placing more of those greenery stems. Again, with this arrangement, I really wanted a beautiful variety of textures and lots of different size variations. So I'm adding in these beautiful flocked pieces. These ones are so romantic and they're very full. I think it was the perfect piece just to add in a little bit more of that flock touch, because most of the greenery that I added on top of the garland was more of that kind of icy texture. So I wanted to make sure we didn't lose that kind of beautiful flocked snow appeal, so that's why I went ahead and added in a few more of these kind of picks. Now we're going to go ahead and add in these beautiful florals. These I actually made last year. They're actually a fall floral from Michael's that I went ahead and glittered myself from one of my previous trees. And I just wanted to add in a little bit of cream just to break up the majority of the green tones that we had over here, just to bring that beautiful contrast and again that really beautiful kind of wintry woodland, kind of beautiful winter wonderland theme. So I thought these would be the perfect addition, and I already had these on hand. So now we're going to go ahead and add in a little bit more of that beautiful brown texture just to bring back that kind of warm brassy color from the poinsettias. So I had these beautiful eucalyptus picks that I had cut up, and I just placed these directly throughout the garland just to bring in a little bit more contrast with the beautiful brown tones. Next, we're going to go ahead and add in a little bit more ribbon throughout the body of the garland. So I had a little bit more material to work with, so I cut up a little bit more of those strips, and then I'm just using my fingers to kind of roll the ends up almost like a little scroll. And then we're going to leave a little tail at the end and use that to attach into some of the greenery pieces. And then once you have that attached into the garland, you're going to want to go ahead and pull the little scroll out a little bit, so that way you get that beautiful little kind of rolled texture to it. And this just kind of incorporated the ribbon throughout the entire garland using such a small amount. Again, I didn't have a lot of ribbon left over, but I thought this would just kind of tie everything together and also bring in the beautiful focal point from the bow in the center. And if you guys want some more tips and tricks for how to work with ribbon in your Christmas trees or any kind of Christmas decorating, I did a video not too long ago about how to decorate with ribbon in your Christmas tree. So if you guys want even more ribbon tips, I definitely recommend checking out that video as well. So for our final step, we definitely had to add in some sort of Christmas balls here. So I found this beautiful pack at Hobby Lobby, and I just love the different colors with the beautiful sages and then that beautiful rich dark green as well. I thought this would be the perfect piece to accent into my beautiful mantle here, especially because the mantle is painted pink. So I just thought the beautiful greens would just be a beautiful contrast here. So what I wanted to do is just hang these directly on the very tips of the branches right in the front of the garland so that these would hang really beautifully. I just used some white satin ribbon that I had on hand and created little handles for them, and then also tried to make them at different levels, so some were longer, some were shorter, and then again just placing these all over the beautiful mantle to give that kind of waterfall effect. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun sharing with you guys this beautiful mantle design, and I really hope that it inspired you guys to create something beautiful in your homes this season for Christmas 2023. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It means the world to me to have you guys here, and I would also really encourage you to subscribe to my channel as well. We have so much fun over here sharing with you guys so many floral decorating ideas, lots of DIYs, thrifting, home decorating. So if that interests you, I would love to have you subscribe and join the family here. And also don't forget to like this video before you go. I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you guys have a Merry Christmas and happy decorating. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.